What's up, a Cinema Shogun here, and I want to address one of the main rumors that is swirling around right now in the Shanquella Robinson case. But first, please allow me to go on this little rant, because once you dive into the details of this case, I assure you, it will piss you off. It will anger you to your core. And you know, I get on these videos and I don't want to be angry, and I don't want you all to have an experience when you're watching my channel as if I'm this angry person, but damn, some of these cases just really make my blood boil, and this case is one of those cases. If you haven't already, please go look at the full interview that Shanquella Robinson's father did. It will give you so much insight as to what's going on in this case. And I assure you, after watching it, you will feel just as passionate as I do right now. But learning more about the case, you find out that this group of so-called friends that was on vacation with Shanquella, not only did they leave Shanquella behind, it looks as if they left Shanquella's dead body behind. Sorry for being graphic, but trigger warning. It looks as if they left her body behind to be discovered by the maid. And they hightailed it out of there and went to another hotel. They went back home. They took Shanquella's luggage with them. And then they had the audacity to go and sit in front of Shanquella's family's face. They sat down with her mother and her sister. They all ate at a table together, and they spoon-fed her family this BS bogus story about alcohol poisoning, when in fact Shanquella Robinson was beaten to the point of her demise. They sat down with her family, looked them dead in the face, and denied that there was any altercations or any fights while on this vacation. And then days later, the video leaks of Dejanay fighting Shanquella, after Dejanay sat in Shanquella's mother's face and sister's face and denied rumors that there was an altercation, and fed them this BS bogus story about alcohol poisoning. I don't know how down, dirty, and low you can get in life, but I'll be damned if this isn't one of the lowest lows that you can go. I thought it was bad enough that they left Shanquella behind, and at that point, that screams guilt. You see, they weren't even scheduled to be leaving from this vacation yet, but they ended the vacation early and tried to figure out how they were going to get home. Not a single one of them, out of all of those people there, not a single one of them had the courage to stop these attacks from happening. These are fully grown men there. Yes, I'm sure they may belong to the LGBTQ community, but regardless, I don't care if you're gay or not, you're a man. And as a man, regardless of how you identify sexually, you're still a man, and in this situation, you should have been a man. You should have had a calm, cooler head, and you should have stopped these altercations from happening, especially when you see that there is no sign that Shanquella wanted to fight. Shanquella did not throw a single punch. Shanquella was not even trying to, be wrapped up in this. It's obvious from the video. But instead, we have fully grown men holding cameras. You're not even going to fight back. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. Accessory to murder. Period. Anyways. I'm sorry, but There's so many more details that I'm leaving out, but it's just downright disgusting. These people disgust me. They're the scummiest scum of the earth. But going forward, there is this rumor swirling around that Shanquella's little supposed friends, they swiped her card for upwards of like $10,000 for plane tickets home. Because you see the way these vacations work, if you got round trip tickets, you got to wait, to catch your plane on the day that you're supposed to catch your plane. It looks as if they wanted new plane tickets because they did not leave on schedule. So the rumor is that they swiped Shanquella's card for $10,000 and they went home using Shanquella's money. Now, I want to be clear here. This is a rumor. This is not a confirmed fact at all. Let's say it is true. If it is true, then law enforcement can easily find out if that happened. And if it did happen, not only does that show you how grimy these people are, but it shows you how stupid they are as well. Because you see, if this is true, what will happen here is, that's a whole nother crime in itself. And that's a crime that they can detain you for. They'll already have you detained for swiping this card while they do the investigation and get to the bottom of who they figure out, ultimately killed Shanquella. So you won't be out here free waiting to figure out what their investigation finds out. You'll already be in custody from this easily provable crime of swiping Shanquella's card and buying you all plane tickets home with her money after she was deceased. But like I said, we don't know if that happened, but within this interview with Shanquella's father, there was a tidbit of information that was really interesting that may suggest that this is true, or at least they were trying to get money for plane tickets. Let's go ahead and watch this clip real quick.
Alcohol poisoning. It didn't sound right, Right. I said, how you got over there, for the flu over there, I'm trying to, when she leave? So he said she left Friday, got there 8 o'clock. She said she talked to her on the phone and they were sitting there drinking, eating tacos and salads. A chef came in, and from there she said, I'll talk to you tomorrow. So from that point, that was Friday. So Saturday, so she telling me the whole story now. So from that point then, that's when she found her dead at 3 o'clock. Say her friend Khalid was on the phone talking to us, and she was, sick, throwing up. She wasn't feeling well. She took a shower, laid back down, and they called the Airbnb house. They supposed to send a medic out, doctor out to the house, and they had to pay $150 for the doctor to come. So when the doctor came, they had to look at her, try to put an IV in her arm, and said the IV popped out and she went into a seizure. That's what Khalid telling her mom's all this right here now. So
right.
I'm trying to figure out, I'm listening to the conversation. So I'm trying to figure out, why Khalid, didn't give you the phone or let you hear the doctor. Then right. One of them in the house, she was told, one of them told her she need to wire $5,000 over there so they can take her to the hospital or so she be able to get in the hospital. I said, $5,000 for what? I mean, she's got insurance. She always had insurance. Right.
So just to quickly put things into perspective for you, just to elaborate on how horrible these people are, someone killed Shanquella out of this friend group. The whole entire friend group knew that's what it looks like. They left Shanquella's dead body in this villa. They went back home. They lied to the parents' faces, and after killing Shanquella, they contacted the family trying to get money from the family, telling them, oh, we need money because we need money to take Shanquella to the hospital and this and that. And they asked them for $5,000. Think about that for a second. It appears that after killing Shanquella, they had the nerve to call Shanquella's family asking for money. And I'm assuming that money would be for them to get back home. I mean, it's hard to even wrap my head around how horrible of a person you have to be. And the craziest part is, this is not one person. This isn't the actions of one person. This is a whole group of people. And not one of them. All it would have taken was one out of this group of people to say something. But no. Somehow, some way, all of these human beings turned out to be pieces of garbage. And they all were in on it. And I'm not saying they all were in on this plan to kill Shanquella. What I'm saying is they were all knowledgeable of what happened to her, and they left her behind. And they've lied to the family's faces. And they tried to get $5,000. Now, it's unclear to me whether they got that $5,000 or not, because later in this interview, Shanquella's father talks about wiring about $7,000 down to Mexico, but he doesn't elaborate what it was for. So I don't know if he was saying that he wired them the money and he fell for it, them trying to say, coming up with this excuse that we need this money to get Shanquella to the hospital and this and that, or if he wired that money down to Mexico so they could ship her body back to the United States. I am totally unclear there. And watching the interview, it's unclear within the interview what he sent that money down there for. But knowing that this rumor is out there floating that Shanquella's card was swiped, and now knowing from the parents that they did ask for money, I wonder if that rumor is true. And at the very least, even if they did not swipe that card, they did try to get money out of this family after what happened to Shanquella. After what happened to Shanquella, y'all reached out to this girl's family trying to get money from the family of a woman who y'all just murdered. No word, there's not a word in the English language that can describe how I feel about these people in this moment. To really call, I mean, it's literally in this moment, even while talking about it, the reality of it is setting in and it's blowing my mind. You don't call your friends and family to try to get you out of this situation. You called Shanquella's family, trying to get them to financially pay, trying to get them to pay to get you out of this situation. Because that money was never going to go to anything about Shanquella. That money was going to go to get them back home quicker, or I don't know what was going through their head about what they were going to do. But in that moment, it's like they tried to extort the family for a little bit of change. And that is just disgusting. So maybe the rumor is true that they swiped Shanquella's card, because obviously they needed money for something. And I would assume that they had plane tickets already for a round trip to go home, but what they were trying to do was get money to make it home quicker. But, the details will come out. And when the official news comes out about this investigation, I will be right there to cover it, and I will be here with all the updates. But for now, let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.